Hi guys, welcome back for day 2 of recipes. I saw all kinds of cupcakes and cakes online and you guys sent me pictures of them, and I even had a couple special deliveries, which was really awesome. So we got to eat lots of yummy cupcakes, and I'm really excited to show you what we're going to do tonight. We're going to make fusion rice. Fusion is the restaurant down in Grand Central. I'm sure most of you have been there. And if you like the rice from there, I'm going to show you how to do it tonight. It's super easy. Maggie's going to help me again, my super assistant, and show you how you can do this at home. Okay? There's several things you're going to need. Okay? The first thing is you're going to need rice. Okay? And I've already made the rice tonight just to make it easy. And I'm going to send you this recipe on Dojo, but I'm just going to let you know I made 4 cups of rice because there's 5 people in my family and we need a lot of food. Also because we like to have the leftovers. Okay? You also need peas, oil, soy sauce, garlic, onion, Chinese 5-spice, garlic salt, butter, oil or cooking oil, and eggs. And then you're also going to need chicken or shrimp or something like that, and I'll explain what you can do for that in a minute. Set that down. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is have your parents make the meat that you like. Okay, that's the part they can do for you. They can prepare that in advance. We use chicken and shrimp. Everybody in my family loves chicken. We use shrimp because sometimes we make this on Fridays during Lent, and I know a lot of you guys could use that as well. Anna Rose, shrimp. Chase, Clara, Ainsley, Isabella, lots of people could use that recipe for Fridays of Lent. But you can use it anytime. And if you want to use steak, you could use salmon. You can do anything you want. You can just make it veggie rice if you want. Okay, but we're going to use chicken and shrimp and have your parents do the meat part for you, and they can do the rice part for you. And then everything else you can do yourself. Okay, so the meat and the rice are done. So the first thing we're going to do is put oil in the pan. I've already warmed the pan up. Okay, so you need about 3 tablespoons of oil. I have sesame oil. Okay, you probably don't have it. You might. If you don't have sesame oil, you can use grapeseed oil. If you don't have grapeseed oil, you could use canola or vegetable oil. I wouldn't use olive oil because it burns really easily. You want a lighter color oil. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of oil in the pan. Okay, about 3 or 4 tablespoons. And that's to cook the onions and the garlic. Okay, I've already chopped up the onions so you don't see me cry. Okay, and Maggie's going to dump those in. Okay, we need 1 onion. This is a small onion, small to a medium-sized onion. You're just going to chop it up and dump it in the pan. Okay, can you dump that in there for me?
Yeah. Oh, I hear that.
Okay, set that in the sink for me.
That noise is what you make too.
Okay, stir them up, let that oil get them. Okay, and what you want from your onions is for them to turn kind of transparent, like where you can kind of see through them. You see how they're really white right now? Well, here in a couple minutes, they're going to turn kind of a clear color. Okay, if they get to be a brown, you're cooking them a little bit too long. Really, you just want them to get to a point where they're nice and cooked, kind of right before they get to golden brown. Okay. The other thing we're going to add is garlic. Okay. And we don't put garlic in when we put the onions in because garlic can burn really easily. Okay. And garlic, when it burns, it tastes really bitter. So you don't want to do that. Okay. So we're going to, it's really 2 garlic cloves, and you want to mince it up. But this is way easier. And we go through about 1 of these a week here. This is just minced garlic. You can find it at any store. It's actually in the vegetable section. So you just find a jar of that. And we need about 2 tablespoons of that. Can you do that for me?
Like, so 2 spoons.
2 spoons, yep. Not big spoon, just kind of, there you go. You need 2 of those, okay? And if you get a little bit extra garlic, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's about 2 garlic cloves chopped up. We can even get a little bit extra, okay?
Well, that's really starting to bubble.
Okay, get your garlic and onions going. By this time, the neighbors will probably show up because it smells so good in your kitchen. There's no better smell than garlic and onions. Okay, we're going to let that cook for just a minute. And then we'll put our peas in.
believe Easter's in 4 days. So exciting.
Okay, you need 1 cup of peas. Okay, they're frozen peas. It's easier to get frozen peas than it is canned peas because they last in the freezer. You can just pop them out and throw them in instead of using a can, and then you have some left over and you don't know what to do with the can of them. So go ahead and dump those peas right in there, Mags. Okay.
Whoa!
They'll start sizzling because they're cold.
Oh, some didn't go in. Oh, that sounds really hard. Oh,
Okay, while that's cooking, I want to tell you a couple things about the meat. I used Chinese 5-spice to cook the chicken, okay? It's an Asian flavor and that goes really well with the fusion rice. This is not my favorite, okay? I don't really like warm spices, and this has cloves in it, and I don't like nutmeg. There's no nutmeg in this, but the warm spices like that, I don't really like those as well, but they go really well with this chicken that goes in the dish, so I use it for this. And then the shrimp is just garlic butter. Of course, you have salt and pepper on it. But if you like shrimp scampi, and I'm sure you do, scampi is just another word for tons of butter. But that's what I make those with. I just put them on my little saute pan grill and put garlic butter on top of them. Shrimp are kind of the opposite of onions, okay? Shrimp start out kind of clear, and then once they become real white, that's when you know they're done. You don't want to overcook your shrimp because then it starts to get a flavor or a texture kind of like salmon. As soon as you overcook your shrimp, it's not any good, okay? So now we have our peas done and our onions done. You can see the onions now, they've gotten smaller and they're kind of clear instead of being white. You can tell those are done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put in our rice. Okay, and this is kind of the hard part. You might want to have a parent do it for you, but you're just going to dump it all in. Okay.
That was funny.
We like to use really sticky rice. Okay, you can get any kind of rice you want. Something else you can do with rice is cook it in chicken stock instead of water. It gives it a ton of flavor when you do it that way. I'm making a giant mess here, and that's totally okay. All right, so we're going to get that going. The next thing we need to add is soy sauce, okay? You know at Fusion when they have the little squirt bottles of sauce that they put on the rice, that's soy sauce, okay? And this is soy sauce. We always get low sodium soy sauce. Soy sauce has a ton of salt in it, so a way to watch how much salt you take is to get the low sodium. So you're just going to give this about 4 or 5 tablespoons, maybe half a cup, okay? And you can kind of flavor it however you want. I'm going to do that. If I want to add some more at the end, I can. Soy sauce goes a long way, okay? It's really, really salty, so you can actually kind of overdo it with soy sauce. I'm going to turn the heat down now because, as you can see, it starts to brown. Okay, and we're going to let that get cooked. Make sure your heat's on like a low medium once you dump your rice in. You don't want to burn your rice, okay?
But yeah, burning rice doesn't really taste good. I mean, maybe other countries like it, but...
Okay, the last thing we're going to do is cook the eggs, okay? I'm going to turn the heat on for the eggs. Normally you cook eggs on a real low heat so they don't burn, but in this case it doesn't matter to have it a little bit higher heat because we want them to cook quickly. We just don't want them to stick to the pan. Okay, and then we're going to add the eggs to the rice.
Can I crack them?
Okay. Looks like with the amount of rice we're probably going to add some more soy sauce. Totally fine. I'd rather have less than more, and that way I can put more in later.
I want to eat that right now. It looks so good.
All right, I'm going to get some plates out and show you how to plate this up. All right, let's crack the eggs. Get them cooking. Don't worry if your yolks split because we're just going to bust them up anyway in the pan. Okay, they don't have to be pretty. We're going to scramble them up, almost to scramble, not quite. We still want a little bit of white. Okay. All right.
I've never seen how we do this before, so I'm gonna...
And with eggs, it's always easier to use this kind of spatula because it helps you to scrape it without cutting up your pan. Okay. All right, Maggie, you want to give me some more soy sauce?
Sure.
All right, put some in here.
What do you mean, like cut the pan? That...
Well, if you scrape the bottom of the pan with a metal spatula,
Oh.
it could scratch it up. Okay.
How much?
Just keep going. I'll tell you when. Okay, that looks good. Okay, mix that up. Okay, looks like our eggs are ready to kind of get mixed up. You can see it doesn't take eggs very long at all. Okay, we're just going to mix these up just so there's no runniness to them, and then they're done. Okay, give that another couple seconds.
Why do we have eggs?
Eggs go in the rice. Okay, the rice is starting to burn just a little bit at the bottom. I kind of like the crispiness of the rice. Not everybody does, so it doesn't bother me if it burns a little bit. Okay, but your rice is pretty much ready to go. Okay, now we're just going to add the egg to it. This is just about done. Doesn't take very long at all. And if it's a little undercooked, it's all right. It'll finish cooking inside the rice anyway. Okay, you see that took about 45 seconds. It didn't take much time at all to finish that. Okay, we'll dump that in here. Careful with your hot pan. Stir it up. Trying to send rice and peas flying everywhere. Okay, now we're ready to plate it up. Okay, you're just going to take a scoop, put it in your bowl. Okay, you can pick chicken, shrimp, both, doesn't matter. Maggie, what do you like in yours?
Both.
Want both?
Yeah. I'm trying to get a part that doesn't
Here,
have...
this one's yours right here. This one's yours right
okay. I was trying to get a part that doesn't have that much eggs because...
here. Well, that's all right. It's cooked into it. All right, get a little chicken. Get a little shrimp.
I love shrimp.
Okay.
Love shrimp.
And the other thing about this rice is you can use any kind of vegetable you want. We use peas. The recipe I'm going to send you actually calls for peas and carrots. My kids love broccoli. That's something else you could put in there. You could put cauliflower in there. Really any kind of vegetable you want.
Dinner?
Orange peppers, green peppers. Hold on. And then, Maggie, can I have that? Okay, so this is done. Maggie, you tell me how it tastes, and if it's ready to go, we don't need any more soy sauce. But she might want a little bit more, totally fine. You want to taste the rice and tell me what it tastes like? If you need a little more soy to it?
Is it hot?
A little bit.
Wait.
Okay.
I think that's Sophie.
Needs a little tiny bit more soy, totally fine. Put it on top, and you're good to go. Okay?
I'll be right back.
You can always add salt and pepper if you need it, but with the amount of salt in the soy sauce, you probably don't need it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this cooking lesson. Next week, I got a special surprise for you with recipes. Let me know how this one goes if you do it. I'd love to see your recipes and your end results. So we'll see you next week.